Nick Karamanlis. Good morning to you too. Nick, how worried are you after last night?
Darren just said it. There's a lot of noise at the moment, which I think players and certain Arsenal fans need to cut out. I think it's all out of context. In the last 8 games, we've accumulated more points than Man City. And I get it because we've seen it all before. City catch us up. We bottle it. It's a great story for the media. But let's just be clear on this. Going away to Brentford with the form they're in, at their own ground under the lights, was never going to be easy. It's never going to be a walk in the park. We walked away with a point. If it wasn't for better finishing, it could have been 3. That extra point, 4 instead of 3, is a huge difference now because it's still in our hands. So let's take the noise away. Which dressing room would I rather be in? I think 4 points clear at the top of the league with Wolves and Spurs coming up, or Man City's fixtures when they're blowing hot and cold all season. So, no, not yet, because there's a long way to go. But if we drop points in the next 2 fixtures, then I'll be worried.
Nick, you should be winning that game yesterday. I know. Look, Brentford are great, and I gave them a lot of credit. But if you're going to go on to win the title, you should be beating Brentford. You should. Let's make no mistake about it. But for me, it's the lack of goal scorers that's going to get you unstuck, I think. And we see at the end, I know Martinelli's done well, but he should be scoring that. It's a fantastic save, Kelleher, but he should have made a decision earlier and hit it maybe slightly earlier. Is the lack of goal scorers concerning you?
That does worry me. I'll be honest with you, it does worry me because I said it last night to my son. We went a goal up, and it's not like, City sometimes they go a goal up and it just finish teams off 2, 3, 4. We don't do that. We seem to struggle to get over the line every game. Every game this season, there's not been many. I can think of probably 2 where we've just kind of cruised and 3-4 nils. But most games, we're just fighting to get over the line. And at some point, that catches up on you because you're not going to always do that. You're not always going to get the corner goal. And I think it just expends a lot more energy as well.
Yeah, but Matthew, I mean, you must admit this as well. City are not absolutely firing. It was a fantastic result at Anfield. You had to win there, and you did it in crazy circumstances at the end. Fulham 3-0 up at half-time. Everyone's thinking, let's go through the gears. Manchester City of a couple of years ago would have made that 6 or 7. City, where do you think they are percentage-wise in terms of their best under Pep right now?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'd like to say, winning at Brentford isn't for everyone, but hey, it's hard to say. No doubt that this is not the best Pep Guardiola side we've seen at Manchester City, but I think there's so many more gears we can go up. I mean, I can talk about all the new players that have come in that are still gelling and stuff, but you mentioned the Fulham game, and I think so many other times this season we could have gone and bottled that. I mean, the return fixture at Craven Cottage is proof of that. We were 5-1 up and we nearly threw it away. So the fact that we managed the game well and got a clean sheet, which is very, very crucial for us at the moment when we're leaking in a lot of goals, I think it's a great sign for hopefully what's to come.
I think, Nick, I want your view on this. And is it this just pure psychological and, feeling that tension from the fans? I mean, I was at the game against Sunderland and I didn't sense any tension in the Emirates whatsoever, but that was a time where you played before Manchester City, right? Every time that you've played after Manchester City in 2026, you've failed to pick up the maximum points. What is that down to?
I don't know. I don't buy that as a thing. I don't know. Is it even a thing? I didn't even know it was. Look, we've never really capitalised in the past. No. Listen. It's nothing new that we've never really capitalised on our rivals even dropping points. But I'm sure back in early December, you just mentioned as well, 5-4 away to Fulham. I'm pretty sure we beat Brentford the next day.
I've said 2026. Nick, 2026.
All right, so that was December. All right, in 2026, we're 1 month in, 1.5 months in.
Yeah, 4 times you failed to do it. So that's the point. That's the stat. 4 times City have played first, and you guys haven't capitalised.
Listen, sometimes it's the way the fixtures land. We've had a resurgent Man United, a Liverpool. Like I say, away to Brentford was never easy. I'm not buying it as a thing. I know it doesn't. It's not a good look. And you want me to say we're questioning the mentality? I'm not going to do it. I'm not taking the bait.
Matthew. Are you enjoying, as a City supporter, being the chasers? And how obviously Nick said that he would much rather be in the changing room, the Arsenal changing room, being 4 points clear. Do you agree with that?
To be honest, I'd just rather be in the City dressing room. I know I'm a City fan, but I back us more than Arsenal to get it over the line. We've seen time and time again. Don't get me wrong, this is probably the stronger version of Arsenal, probably the weakest version of City in that era, but I just think, I mentioned before, there's so many new players in this City setup at the moment, but you look at the spine. I know Donnarumma's only just come in, but he's a born winner. You've got Ruben Dias, who's just come back in, who's won countless titles with us. Rodri, I mean, what hasn't he won? You've got Erling Haaland, Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva. That spine alone is more than capable of winning a lot of silverware this season. So
Stones back on the bench, Matthew, as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, whether he plays or not, that remains to be seen. I think a lot of City fans were forgetting he was still at the club, to be fair to him. But it's great to see him on whether he comes on the pitch or what. But that's got to be great for the dressing room, like you mentioned.
So come on, Nick, take some of my bait, if you will. I'm sticking the fishing rod out. Let's see if you take this one. So where do you think we go up until? I mean, look, we've got the League Cup final on the 22nd of March at Wembley, right? I wonder how much that plays its part in terms of psychology. And then, of course, the 18th of April at the Etihad, the Premier League fixture, Manchester City against Arsenal. So if it's 4 points going to that and City win that and it's a point, and we've still got 5 to play after that, how are you going to be feeling? Because Nick, you know that if you don't do it this season, you know what's coming your way from everyone.
Oh, it's all if so, isn't it? And until if that happens, look, that final game, you could argue, some people would say, if we win the final, then that will give us the confidence to go and beat them in the league. But what's to say that if we lose that final, it doesn't fire us up to go hell for the leather and beat them in the league? It's 2 different games. And I'd hope those behind the scenes at Arsenal would cut this noise out from the media, right? I'm not taking
it's not just it's not us making noise, is it? It's it's coming from the fans as well. It's the nerves. And I think you speak to even people like Ian Wright and to Arsenal pundits, to Martin Keown, they can sense that. The players are sensing that. It's not helping them. And I get it. The fans naturally, it's just oozing out of them.
In terms of noise, Nick, I don't know if you see early in the Opta supercomputer, you're 86% favourite to win the league.
That's noisy.
There you go. The thing is, I get it. And I've got a lot of Arsenal fans on my social media as well. They're all panicking. They've basically written us off already. But we've got a squad which is relatively young, but they're at the point now they should be mature enough to cope with this pressure. The last few years have been a warm-up. And I think, look, again, Man City as well, I've just said it, last 8 games, we've accumulated more points than them. So who's to say that they're going to win every game going forward? I don't think they are. I don't think they're good
Matthew,
enough.
I don't know whether Nick's been operating the Opta supercomputer, but can we flash that up again? 12%. A 12% chance Opta are giving you of winning the title. Expected points, 75, 82 Arsenal. Matthew, your thoughts?
I mean, the supercomputer's clearly not seen the last few years, has it? Because that's wild. I mean, we've got. Don't get me wrong, we're not the favourites like I mentioned, but I mean, you mentioned the last 8 games, Nick, that you've got more points, but crucially, it matters at the end of the season who's got the most points. That's completely irrelevant. And I back you guys to drop quite a lot of points now to the end of the season, like we will as well. But if we're close enough, come the fixture at the Etihad, like you mentioned the Carabao Cup final, I think that will play a massive role in how the league sways.
Well, Matthew, this is all too friendly for my liking. You tell Nick how many trophies you think Arsenal are going to win, because I'm assuming that you're going to take the League Cup off Arsenal at the end of March.
And the Prem.
And the Prem, says Darren, who called Arsenal Bottle Job FC. So how many trophies do you think Arsenal do end up with come the end of May?
That's tough. I'm gonna say they're gonna get 1 trophy.
Well, what is
I'm
it?
not saying which one. I'm not.
Well, you've got to say which one. If it's not the League Cup, it's not the Prem, because City are taking both out. They're winning the Champions League.
What, I'll give them the FA Cup. I'll give them the FA Cup.
What are you saying, Nick? What are you saying? Out of how many?
Bait, Nick.
No.
I
mean, look, I've seen you on here with Jamie O'Hara before, and I'm exactly the same.
Those
look,
two.
I hope you get no trophies, but how many do you think you'll win?
League and League Cup.
Okay, steering away from the Champions League. League and League Cup. League and League Cup, okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to beat City in the League and beat City in the League Cup.
Why not?
Is this going to the final day, Matthew? Do you think, is it going as far as that?
It well could do. It really could do. To be honest, I do think that it's the game at the Etihad. I think that's like the Premier League final almost this season. I think that one will sway it. If that gets us on top points-wise, I don't see Arsenal then getting back on top. If Arsenal open up the gap further, then it's probably way too late for City. So maybe not the last day. I think it's that game. It'll be settled then for me.
Yeah, and by the way, Nick, if it does go to the last day, Manchester City have got Aston Villa at home, which was a tricky one. Who've Arsenal got on the last day, Nick? You should know this. Just looking down here. Crystal Palace away.
Palace, they put
Got
them
to say
down.
though, we like Villa on the last day. We like Villa on the last day. We did it a few years ago. Beat them
Good
on
one,
the last
like
day.
Villa on the last day.
We love Palace at the last day, especially if it means sending Tottenham down. So,
All right, a little dig at Ambrose at the end. I like that. Right, good stuff, guys. Thank you very much. There we go, Nick and Matthew.